Hello, hello. Love or Fear here again. So I do have a Facebook page which I will do one card dailies, or at least that's the intention. Working for the universe can be a challenge. And I don't know about anyone else, but there has been a lot of changing going on, a lot of energetic influx and adjustments and whatnot. So if you are feeling that, just try to hang in there. There's a lot of individuals on the healing journey who are getting hit pretty hard, me included. So definitely talk to your guides, get whatever support. I know we're in this kind of isolation period at the moment, physically, but do whatever you can to make sure that you take care of yourself. There's so much going on, so many energies flying around, plus, the real world situations. So there's just a lot. So if you're feeling like you're struggling with that, make sure to reach out to someone, friends, family, whoever it is that you can trust and find guidance with, support with. It's very important. There's quite a few articles flying around related to stress and fear and the impact on that, with that on our physical body. So make sure to take care of yourselves. Of course, use the practical day-to-day practices to keep yourselves well and healthy, and do your best to stay connected with people as much as you can. It's pretty important in order to maintain our mental, emotional, psychological, and physical health. So I just wanted to share that message of love and care and compassion, and let you guys all know that universe and the energies are definitely encouraging everyone to take a little extra self-care and keep yourself safe and well. With all of that said, they've guided me to a particular method of reading. That's already. For gratitude, of course. For healing messages, and the one card reads are pretty in depth as well. These are my little baby cards that I call tone cards. They just have words on them. Eventually, they'll be grown-up cards someday. But they just kind of set the tone of the read. Since I'm not a typical love reader or whatnot that you normally see on YouTube, these are geared towards inner guidance and healing and development and growth, and working with yourself to move forward from whatever it is that might be keeping you stuck in life. So I developed these to kind of set the stage, since I don't use things like zodiacs or any other particular indicator as far as how to direct healing. So for this one, the message is related to gratitude, and that will set the stage for the rest of the reading and let us know what is being worked on, where we are. Some people may resonate more with this now, others later, and we'll just kind of further clarify and define what it is about gratitude at this time for whoever needs to hear it. So with that said, I got a bunch of new decks and I'm super excited. And interestingly, I'm being called to my tried and true Zen deck, Osho Zen. And of course, at the end, there's always an advice card with one of my oracle decks, which one of the new ones I have not tested. I know my other ones work very, very well with my Tom cards and the readings that come out. And I'll clarify as needed. I know I'm a little all over the place. Universe has been smacking me really hard for the last couple weeks. I've been very, very drained, and it's actually taken several days to do this reading. They told me to do it like Friday or something, and I just have not had the energy. So finally getting to it. And gratitude. Wow, that was abundant. Aloneness. Go figure. It's in there. Friendliness, aloneness, fighting, and the outsider. Okay. So, friendliness, aloneness, fighting, these do correlate, as I've mentioned before, to the traditional tarot. Friendliness is like the Two of Cups. Aloneness is Hermit. Fighting is like the Five of Swords. For those who are regular viewers of tarot, some of these may resonate with you, or you may make sense. Outsider is like the Five of Pentacles, and that came out in reverse. Now, typically these cards don't have reversal meanings, but I do use them because it does impact and influence the reading. So, if you have this deck, you'll notice in the book there are no reversals. But again, I do read them. So, of course, this is a pretty clear message, I feel like, with, friendless. This is about oneness, the removal of the concept of or perception of separation. So, of course, that's very pertinent right now with everything that we're going through with the physical isolation and whatnot. But you see how there's two separate trunks of the tree, but above there's a merging of the leaves. So this is about the connection that we actually have with one another at a higher level, and at the spiritual, energetic, emotional, even level, and that there's still this physical distance between us, and that physical distance ultimately doesn't affect this merging, this connection, this love between these two physical entities. So this is at a much higher level of value and appreciation, which I feel like speaks very strongly to gratitude, aloneness. Now, as we know in traditional tarot, the Hermit is talking about going within, meditating, doing that independent, deep inner work, and listening to our inner compass, our higher self, whatever label works for you, our intuition. It's a time to reflect and meditate. Fighting it's pretty clear. It's fighting disagreement, dissent, struggle, complication, difficulty, burden, and the outsider is upright. It is a form of abandonment, but reversed, it kind of is reflecting this friendliness card, really. So we have kind of an entire complete cycle here. Because this is speaking to going and making those connections. But you see this child here. This is a child that's been abandoned, that has been left out. So in the reverse, what it talks about in this case is the healing of that abandonment and the recognition that we aren't actually alone, we aren't actually isolated, we aren't actually abandoned. And in a different type of reading, it could be reflective of self-abandonment, but I don't feel like that's the message in this particular case. And if you aren't familiar with the concept of self-abandonment, I would recommend looking into it, and particularly if you come from a history of any type of childhood trauma, abuse. It is a thing. So if that's something that you've dealt with, this would be a really good time, because this is probably an intensely triggering set of events with the existing isolation. And there will be a little skip there when I merge these two aspects of the video. Apparently I just tried to set my house on fire with a candle. Got to the end of it and heard the pop and explosion, and it's like, oh, I better take care of that. Anyway, back to this. If that's an issue, definitely take a look into that and see how that resonates for you in your own experiences. However, that is not what we are addressing right now. So with the gratitude, this is a reminder, very much a reminder, to be grateful for these higher level connections, and to take this time and use it to our advantage to go within and experience these higher level understandings between self and other, to, even though it's upright rather than in reverse, let go of the fighting. Normally this would be a reversal to release it, but I feel like this is more of an encouragement that this is a time where fighting, disagreement, dissent, stress, all of those things can mar and block our appreciation and gratitude towards each other, towards ourselves, and towards these deeper connections with one another, that unconditional love experience. And it can take a little bit of effort to get out of that stress state and find our gratitude within. Find everything that, especially if you've lost a loved one, or you have someone in your family or friends that are sick or may get sick, or there's a concern of that, there is a call to release that inner conflict. I do feel like this is more of an inner conflict rather than external. External doesn't seem to have much opportunity right now. And to go back to our gratitude, to what we value and appreciate in the experiences we do have, and in the time that we have with one another, and to really, really connect with ourselves and each other, and remind ourselves moving forward that there is more to life and living than what we see on the surface. This distance here doesn't actually exist. We just have to be in that space to be able to see it and to perceive it in order to feel that gratitude and that love and that compassion. But these inner fears and worries and stresses can be a block. And it's also a time that we can use to heal these blocks, to heal the wounds within, to welcome this appreciation and gratitude, even though it may be difficult, it may be challenging, that there is a lot of emotional depth that is going on for people and individuals right now, and that these difficulties ultimately are not going to leave us alone. They're going to actually bring us closer together. We are not to abandon each other. We are not to forget that we are connected in a way that is really difficult to fathom sometimes, and to see and to appreciate and value. So this is definitely a very, very strong, very compassionate call with a lot of love, with so much love here. And to remember that there is love, whether you call it God, universe, source, spirit, angels, there is love here, and to remind us that there is a need for love within, and there is a need to love without, even though we are ultimately connected. The only piece we often see is this right here, this separation, this distance, this remoteness, this disconnect. And that's not all there is. There is all this up here, and it is beautiful, and it is full of color and life and light. And to take the time to see that, so that when we are able to reconnect physically, the level of gratitude that we have for one another, and appreciation and compassion, is going to exponentially increase. And it is coming through so strongly. And this is for all the hardship and difficulty and fear and loss. There is also a lot of love here. There's a lot of love. So remember that and connect with it and find it within yourself. Express it in whatever way you can. Towards yourself, towards your family, your friends, and even people out there. Don't let the fear disconnect you from this. There's caution, yes, but don't forget that we are all one. We're all human. We're all people. We are the same species. We are in this together. So don't let this block this. And don't abandon each other. Don't abandon yourself. Don't abandon others. And value and appreciate what we do have, what we are, what we can be, and keep moving forward as best as you can, and whatever help you need, assistance you need, reach out, because you're not alone. Even though we have this experience of isolation, you are not alone, ever. It's a very powerful, very quick, very direct message to all of us. And the shortest reading I've done so far. So I'm going to go ahead and pull an advice card. And this is the longest part right here, because I do read. Again, as a reminder, I do read from the book for these because these readings are for collective, and clearly these readings that I do hit home for everybody across the world. These are not specific to any group, any culture, any belief system. This is true for all people at all times, no matter what. I mean, right now we are dealing with this COVID issue, but this is still true, no matter what difficulty, what challenges you are facing. You know, even after this is over, it's still a reminder that there is love, there is compassion, there is a drive to stay connected and recognize that, you know, even if you are not on a spiritual path, agnostic, atheist, it doesn't matter. There's still love. We're still one in the context of we are all human. Period. End of story. We are all human beings. If you want to take it to that base of a level, we are one species, and that cannot be denied. All you have to do is look around. We two eyes, one nose, one mouth, two ears, you know, hair, teeth, smile. We walk upright. We have a spine. We have kidneys and livers and hearts. We are all human beings. We might look different, believe differently, practice whatever differently, be into different trends or hobbies or food or clothing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're still all human beings. So at the core of it, we are all still one. One species. And that species is human being. And in that, just in that, there is a connectedness. There is a love that is unconditional. Whether you want to recognize it, choose not to recognize it, choose to have fear or hate or disrespect or disagreement, doesn't change the fact. We're all still human. Resplendent with grace. Resplendent with grace. This is a new deck. So I actually have not. This is clearly I have a preference. Osho Zen, and now we have Rumi. I love these things. They're so powerful. They're so powerful. The messages are just amazing. And Rumi starts with poems. So, resplendent with grace. Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me. Hidden inside as the heart, you are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. Isn't that what I was just kind of saying? You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart to yours. Through that opening, I send you a secret message like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart. To be your reflection, I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are the ear, you are the mind, you are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. You are I. How beautiful is that? Your divine grace clothes me in the robes of sky blue and blood red, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. The darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in the fine golden hue of your presence. There is only beauty beheld now. I apparently can't read. For there is nothing that is not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. Isn't that what I was just saying? No being, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. Let that sink in. He says it better than I did. Is it difficult to see your magnificence? Without a mirror the size of a galaxy, how could you possibly witness all that you are? You must just catch a glimpse of your truth now and then. Oh, if you could see yourself as I see you in all your glorious fullness of being. You are swathed in robes of grace so light and freeing that they do not weigh you down, and yet so luscious and full that you cannot help but stir the movement of all of creation as you step this way and that. Of course, it matters not to grace whether you see or do not see, for grace simply is, without witnessing being required, yet you might live rather differently, my beloved, should you realize that you are not only worthy of grace, but actually dripping with it, saturated with divine presence, so rich it leaks out of you and causes sunlight to pool at your holy feet. Oh yes, you are resplendent in holiness and sanctity. Should you come to know this as I do, you would take each step with awe and reverence. You would decide that not a thing in your world could be classed as mundane, and decide with bold fervor that you are living in godliness and must create your world through choices that honor love. Not a thing in your world could be classed as mundane. No fear, and the most stubbornly persistent, would be able to withstand the sight of your magnificent beating heart, so wild with life. In the sight of that wild heart, you would have to call all your fears close to you, soothing them with your words of love, like riled children in need of tenderness and quiet. Like riled children. You would have to call all your fears close to you, soothing them with your words of love, like riled children in need of tenderness and quiet. Tenderness and quiet. And then rested, you would wake them from their slumber, and they would arise as falcons, ready to soar to the height of your most daring visions. Hunting for life to feed them, they will ensure the ample grace pulsing within your heart has its chance to come to life in the world and serve love. This oracle comes to you with a message. You may be wondering if you can attain this next stage of growth in your life. You are already well equipped to do so, no matter what you might believe about the situation, circumstances, or others involved, even yourself. You have within your soul possession more than enough grace to see you through anything you are bold enough to envision for yourself, or for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray through unconditional love. to access all that you are, to be supported by those beings that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are so drenched in this sacred grace that the well of your being is full. All that is needed to nurture you on to the next step of your life path is within you now. It's within you. That's what this is about. It's within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability, your readiness, and your capacity to take this next phase of the journey now. How could it be otherwise? For you are one with grace. They have an honoring ritual, which I like this better than the healing things in the other oracles. Place your hands on your heart. Visualize, sense, intend, or feel that you are being bathed in a golden light. Look at that. Well, of course, around the yellow, it's golden. But look. See the halo around the tops of the trees? And look at this. It shows up there too. The golden light. And then in aloneness, there's also a halo. May rise up from the earth or descend from above you, but all around you is golden light. It is before you, behind you, on either side of you, above you, below you, creating a field of golden energy all around you. It may be soft or it may crackle with electricity. Just be with it. Whatever it is, whether you can feel it clearly or not seem to be able to imagine anything at all, no matter what appears to happen or not happen, it is just perfect for you at this time. When you have passed several moments connecting with this golden light, finish honoring ritual with this prayer. Say aloud, Rumi, brother of my soul, who loves me without condition, bless me with the confidence, trust, and wisdom I got distracted. And wisdom I need to take my next steps and to accept the grace already bestowed upon me in abundance that will continue to be given as I grow. May I believe in myself just as you believe in me. Through mercy and unconditional love, so be it. You finished your honoring ritual. So Rumi uses grace, and grace and gratitude are very closely connected. They're not the same thing. But gratitude is an aspect of grace. Appreciation for the self within then allows appreciation for those without. So hopefully this helps someone, provides some guidance and some healing energy, which I send to you all. And may you be well, healthy, grateful, and full of grace. Namaste.